We are Pro Cannabis Media.
Hi, everyone. Welcome again to another very special edition of In the Weeds with Jimmy Young. And a reminder, don't just like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, one of the longest running podcasts on our Pro Cannabis Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe to all the programs that we produce here and distribute on our Pro Cannabis Media Network. We're so proud to bring in a very special guest, someone who actually may be one of the most foremost authorities on SEO, search engine optimization, which is the key marketing tool to be found on the internet. His name is Victor Karpenko. Victor, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
No. Happy you're here. And people might recognize the accent that you have. It doesn't sound like you are from the United States of America. Where is the hometown of Victor Karpenko?
My hometown right now, or where I was born.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the original. I think you know what direction I'm going in here. So tell me about where you're from.
Yeah, so I was born in Kiev and I lived there most of my life. So Kiev, Ukraine. Yeah.
And Victor, when I heard that you were originally from Ukraine, I was in some ways, I was mad. I was mad because of what's going on in your country right now. I get really fired up when I see injustices in the world. It's one of the reasons why we wave the flag for pro cannabis in this country, because we believe we need to tell the stories of the industry in their own words. Tell me, please, first of all, how long have you been out of Kyiv, Ukraine, and what role has your home country played in your professional career?
I'm in US since the war started. So I basically was like one day, I heard me and my wife woke up in the morning, I think it was like 5 a.m. when the bombs just hit, and the window was open and it was like so real, so we packed our clothes and went out of the town like in 15 or 20 minutes, just took the stuff we need actually, and just went to my parents, and then we moved from Ukraine because it still was possible to do that. Yeah. And then the borders were closed.
Yeah. I can't imagine living through that in the 21st century, to be honest with you. I'm guessing that you left behind a full company, friends, family. How difficult has this been the last few months?
Thank you for my super team that I have, because we have a lot of mature team leads that actually run different departments, and we just understand made coordination. So we created a chats where we talk what's going on, do you need any help, HR managers communicate with the people what they need, do they need apartment, or how so we basically knew where everyone was moving around, and it was stressful first two weeks. We didn't know what's gonna be, right? And after 2 weeks we were stable, so we were working 85-90% after 2 weeks, normal mode.
Right. So now you're the CEO of SEO. Is it Profi?
SEOPROFY,
Profi. I didn't know if it was Profi or Profi, so I went with the Profi, but Profi it is. It's a SEO. You're basically an SEO expert, if you will. I mean, this is what I've read about your background. How many years have you been in the digital marketing side of things? It's like 15 years or so, right?
Yeah, I do SEO 15 years, and last 10 years I focus only on this. That's all. All our team, it's about 200 people right now, and we just focus only on SEO's part. No other marketing. So from content creation, on site optimization, technical, and link building. That's all. That's what we do.
Right, and I got to tell you, a lot of that for an old media guy like myself is fascinating, because for many years media, a conduit of information, that's pretty much a loose and general definition of what media is, has been, the product of that has always been how many eyeballs, how many times, reach and frequency of your audience being your product, the followers of the content you produce. But that has changed quite a bit over the last, I would say, decade or so, since Google, the king of search, and YouTube, the second king of search, also owned by Google, has entered into our world. And therein lies the challenge, because it isn't about just the numbers anymore. It's how much data can you collect from those eyeballs, those people. Am I right in that assumption? Is that not the biggest change in media?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like the more data you have, the more the more fast decision you can make to actually get more audience. but like what's changed, because like probably because of the algorithms like can hurt you anytime, like any update, right? No matter what you do. So like to collect all your audience in email and like in different channels, so then you engage with it, it's like the most important part. Yeah.
Right. Well, what you're talking, you mentioned the word engagement.
Yeah.
Loosely defined, is that an email address?
Yeah.
Okay, so you try to collect email addresses of people, because the technology that's out there can then track what that email, that person who's attached to that email, the ISP or whatever the heck the letters are, can see what this person is doing, where they're going, where they're searching, what their habits are. This is truly what we call Big Brother, if you will, because this data is what is king now, not just to media companies, but to governments too. I saw a news story this morning about another country. Let's not go into politics here, but it was another country who supposedly now is infiltrated the data of major Western countries and trying to take over that data. So in a lot of ways, there may be like a cyber war that's actually going on. And even the United States of America's intelligence agencies are extremely concerned. How challenging is it to protect your own data?
I wouldn't like focus on this. I think like everyone knows everything. Like I just focus on like build some value, by doing stuff, and like I don't care like if someone knows something about me, because I know I'm legit, and I do normal stuff. So I would focus on this, because what you said about some Western countries, yes, in Austria, in France, in Italy, they banned Google Analytics. So now the solution is to install Google Analytics tag manager on a server. So it's your data, it's not Google data, or so yeah, you can't use it anymore, because they know they collect everything. Like, I mean, it's okay as long as you can use this information to like grow your business and like get better results. Why not?
But I think as business people, we are always concerned about return on investment and growing your business through the reach of your content production. And that is exactly where the world that my company is in right now is. We make a move off a website that we've had really for the last few years, because I just needed to showcase what we were doing here. And now I've used YouTube, which is it still the second largest search engine to Google, YouTube?
Yeah, it is still. Yeah.
So we use YouTube as kind of a focus group to see if an old guy like me talking about weed and cannabis could actually get a following. And happy to report that over 500,000 people have checked out our videos over the last 15 months. And we've got a growing subscriber list of about 9,500. And again, that's totally organic. In your estimation, are those good results?
It's pretty good results, like especially if it's organic. Like if you put some extra stuff on it, like how we usually do. Like for example, once my son came to me and said, like, let's record cartoon. I said, okay, why do you need to record it? Like he said, I wanted to publish it on YouTube. I said, okay, do you know the search volume of people who are searching in YouTube this keyword? He said, no, let's go. So we went to Ahrefs, and they have like YouTube keyword search. And so we basically created dashboard, like he wanted to record video about dinosaur fighting other dinosaur. So I put this phrase in YouTube and see the top 10 results, like what's the channel, how many subscribers, what's this video, what's the length of this video, how many likes, how many comments. You get this data and you just reverse engineer. For example, if you want to rank for the keyword, like for you can be like really good, like in what states cannabis is legal, right? So you can make like some map and just describe in which state and some specifics. You do dashboard, you just repeat this stuff and you outrank everyone in YouTube. So you are number one and you will get even more organic visitors and views.
I do want to talk to you about the challenges of the cannabis industry in social media and using search, because as you know, it is still a federally illegal product, and there's all sorts of problems as far as social media companies shutting down cannabis groups. One of the things that I always tell the story in 2018 is when a company like Green Flower, an educational, well-produced, beautiful videos, a site that and videos that I used when I first got my medical card in 2013, they had something like 250,000 subscribers in April of 2018, and all YouTube did was pull the plug on their channel and shut them down with no notice. Now, needless to say, I think that's unfair. I think it's unjust. I certainly understand why it happened. I don't want to point fingers or blame anyone in the federal government at that time, but let's at least look at why and what can cannabis companies do to kind of get around the challenges of algorithms and AI and the fact that cannabis, that word, Google for the most part doesn't like that word too much.
Yeah. So basically, it's as you said, it's correct that it's federally illegal, right? So like it's legal only like in 5 or a little bit more states, and for us it's good because we SEO actually makes sense where is no ads on top, right? So when you Google some keywords and you don't see like this 4 Google ads, and if you are number one, you're actually number one, so you get all the traffic. So SEO is pretty good source of traffic in this case, but we also have limitation because I respect compliance and and all these legal aspects to other states. So we basically can't onboard client that is operating without license or doing some stuff in the states that are illegal, so you need to be careful also, even if it's search, because when it comes to investigation, it's bad. But yes, SEO is for example, when you see brands like Leafly, Weedmaps, and other big marketplaces that grow, they basically took over near me, dispensary near me search term and other search terms, and they get a lot of traffic out of this, and the only way to do that it's to create a high quality website with a good structure, with a structured content, good on-site optimization, and build links to these pages so they rank, right? So in this case, what are other sources? It's other sources like Outbrain. This is media, some media networks like Leafwire, I get.
Yeah, Leafwire
network and other. It's a lot of even it's YouTube for cannabis. It's I don't remember the URL.
The WeedTube.
Yeah, the WeedTube. I was impressed when we because we created this branch like MJ SEO agency, and now we tried in the beginning like a lot of stuff, like going through LinkedIn, trying to contact owners, went to a government website to see who got the license for dispensary, and maybe talk to them like how we can help. Nothing worked. So we started to rank ourselves for, right now we are #1 for the keywords cannabis SEO agency company, cannabis SEO, like not #1, but getting close to. And then we started to actually get quality leads that actually like we work with. You see, so in the niches that are restricted, and I call it Google restricted niches. It can be fireworks, it can be casinos, it can be payday loans, it can be cannabis, it can be other niches. So SEO makes sense. That's why we are here, basically, and putting all our 15 years experience trying to help like niche businesses. Yeah.
Well, it certainly keeps your focus up, and it keeps you wanting to learn more about the world you're in. And the technology world never stops growing, and the education and the coding and the cybersecurity elements that are out there now, all of that is continuing to grow. And I'm guessing that keeps you on your toes. And I was reading one of the interviews that you had, and we all know, I think as humans, we learn more from our mistakes than we do our successes, right? Yeah. So needless to say, there are a lot of challenges in the cannabis space, because you can't just go out there and go, hey, you want to learn about weed? Check us out, right? There has to be more to it than just that call to action, or the proper phraseology that is out there on the internet that you can then be found. So I guess what I'm saying here is experiential learning is probably the best way to continue to hone your own craft. Is that accurate?
Absolutely, because like we operate in different verticals, not only in cannabis, and like I believe in a team, because when we set up the team just for this niche, and these people only work with this niche websites and stuff, so they get this knowledge so fast. They see, okay, what's the conferences, what's the brands, what they are doing, what their strategies, like, and they. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Like, and also I believe in like setting up team like of people, because I won't do everything. Like, but my team leads, my team, my staff, they just like focus on learning this niche more and more. So for every client, they will get better result. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna make it a little not personal, but I want to talk a little bit about my own company and the challenges that we have, because we don't do what we call stoner content. We certainly recognize the culture of cannabis that exists in this country, that demographic market of 21 to 35-year-old adults that are in legal states, that are able to enjoy the product or the medicine. But we do recognize also that there's another group emerging. It's the 50-year-old, 50 plus, who is what they call canna curious, the 50-year-old who wants to improve their wellness or look at how this product can enhance their lives, as opposed to perhaps just doing it for recreational purposes, which is not something I advocate at all. I talk about responsible use of this product. But therein lies the challenge, because I'm an educator and a coach. I want to share knowledge that I've gained with others. I do that through our content production. And I'm really targeting that 50 plus group that wants to learn about what this product is, the history of this product, how to get it, where to get it, how to grow it, what do you do once you grow it, how to extract. I mean, there's so much information and knowledge now about this plant. It is truly overwhelming, and it overwhelmed me in the first year as I was continuing to learn more and talk to as many people as I could. Now I look back, and now I'm looking at it from a different perspective, because now I really, between our regular news shows and our talk shows, we want to continue to attract this canna curious audience. So if you were in my shoes, what would be your strategy suggestions for us in order to accomplish that? How do we identify where those 50 plus interested older folks, if you will, they're still younger than me, but they're older folks, where they might find or look for answers online so that we can get our content in front of them? How would you do that?
It comes from the problem, you see, because I'm also curious like you. And when we got first client with this Delta 8 gummies, I went and bought it and tried it. And I said like, wow, okay, you see it. So, like I see like the process, like what it gives you. So I would go from the problem. When you say like 50 plus, what problem they have? They have like headache. They can sleep bad. Sometimes it's a lot of stress. And when you actually get this, like, because I know on my own, like after 10 calls in a day, yeah, like if you like eat this gummy, you like feel relaxed, calm, and normal. That actually make your nerve system like calm down. You know, so I would go from the keywords, like like lawyers do. Have like they take everything what happened in accident, like for example broke your arm, like car hit you or whatever. The same as chiropractors do, like have a back pain, like or what to do when you have a back pain. And right in this, to make it more popular, you can write about ways to solve this problem. So basically you look what actually like this products or recreational do in the end of the day. And right, because these people probably curious like what I can do. And when they actually try it, they can even be advocate of this, because they actually like solve their problem. So I would go through these search terms, like from the problem and trying to explain how to solve the problem, like in a cool way. Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to another interview with another SEO expert that I've talked to in the past few years. His name's Mike Corso. And he said, they ask, you tell. So they ask in search, what products are out there to help me sleep? And we provide answers to that question. And that's how you get found. Accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, because you don't need to create something. You just like, it's already demand for, you just need to give right answer that you will benefit from, right? Like, like, for example, I give you like, and sometimes you don't even need to have your own media. Like, for example, we have this local place here in Florida, and they wanted to have more foot traffic, so people come over to this place. So what they did, they didn't create Google Maps or like their own website or social network. They just outreach website that say best places to visit in Florida, best places to visit in this area, and they inserted them in a list with the address. So they this article's already ranking in the top, right?
Right.
So you just get so you're answering to those people who are curious on the website that are trusted, that are not yours, what to do.
Got it. Interesting. That's great. That's great. I do want to ask you a little bit. You told me, I'm pretty sure I read this. You have 200 employees in your company?
Yeah, yeah.
And are any of them still in Ukraine?
Like 75%.
Wow. I just feel so bad. How you can't even compare that with any. Is there any comparable out there for another country going through this and still trying to maintain a business and keep it going? How do you operate on a daily basis?
Well, we have mature team leads, mature head of departments, and we have like process, like we have HR department, finance department, legal department, like we have KPIs, values, like learning management system to onboard people, and like and a lot of stuff. Like, so the main point, like right now, people in Ukraine, like especially that state in Kiev, it's safe there, like kind of safe. The only one thing is that is not safe. The rocket can hit your house. That's all. but
I'm not sure I could sleep at night. I just want to say, if I was out there, I have so much respect for the people that are trying to go about their lives normally. You know, I just don't. It boggles my mind. It really does. How often are you in touch with the people that your employees? Is it a daily check-in? Is it a weekly check-in? How do you keep that connection between Florida and the Ukraine?
Yeah, so when the war started, I kind of like became like a little bit more operating manager, because like we need to do stuff way faster than our previous operating manager was doing. So I do have a calls. Like if I show my calendar, you probably will be scared. It's like from 5 to 10 calls every day. Like, but I mostly talk with the team leads. Like, so we talk, like we have like, for example, every Monday we have like 13 heads of departments that meet on the, so everyone discuss what they did last week and what's the plans for the next week. And we discuss like problems that actually we can fix. And in other days, we have like one-on-one with someone who we need to figure out something. Like, for example, like salaries, like KPIs, some problems like with not growing traffic, how to fix it, so we can actually fix it with like pretty fast. Like especially like this Google update was really good for us, and previous was really good for us. But like it doesn't mean you can't. I work more preventative. What we can do right now, so prevent stuff in the future, so the client project grow, not decrease in traffic. You know, because it's money. You know, if they don't get money, they won't pay us money. You know, like so. Yeah. So like from 5 to 10 calls per day, and yeah, like I basically live in my office room.
and so remote, the fact that you're remote, and I'm going to guess that at some point the pandemic entered into the Ukraine space too, and you had to learn how to be remote and not go to the office. So there was a little bit of a ramp up learning curve, I'm going to guess, as far as internal communication goes. So in a sense, did the pandemic actually help you prepare for this?
Yeah, like for sure. Like through the pandemic, it's actually so much better to work remote. I mean, some people, we still have like big office, like for like, I think like 100 people can fit in it. Like one office we just gave away because like when the war started, because it's like pretty expensive to keep it. But to work remote is much better. For example, let's say you have like 10 calls. Oh, okay, 10 is too much, like 8 calls per day. Like for example, in Florida, I start every morning from 7. I start already working, like from 7. So I finish local time about like 3 to 4, like PM. Yeah. Okay. So let's say like you need to talk with this person, Like in previous life, we would go to meeting room, and you just get the energy out of this person. Some people feel bad, some good. You need like, you know, to have this connection. Right. When you have a call, you just do it so much faster. You're like, okay, next one, you know, and you are way more efficient and productive like this way. It's more about like how I call it, this magic touch to the people that actually like doing the execution, you know.
Hey, what's the time difference between Florida and Ukraine?
7 hours.
7 hours. So yeah. You know, I get freaked when I have appointments with California people or central United States. Everybody's in a different time zone in the cannabis space, because it truly is a coast to coast industry now. And, you know, with Massachusetts being the first East Coast state to actually vote in adult use cannabis, and now pretty much the whole region of New England, except for New Hampshire, has it available, or at least in the process of becoming available. One of the things that the people in this industry have learned, unfortunately, the hard way, is even though you are making progress on your own, in your own world. In the whole world, it's really slow. Cannabis time is like dog years, right? You know, you expect something to happen in a month and it takes a year or two even. And needless to say, the reform at the federal government that a lot of people who voted one way in this election thought perhaps, oh, this will help. Look at this, they'll make this legal in a year or two. That's not going to happen. I think pretty much everybody understands that. But there is such a lot of movement at the state level that's forcing more pressure on the federal government, different agencies in the federal government, I might add, to make changes, to have regulations, to change the laws so that they can actually learn more about this product and how it affects people. Because not only did they vilify it for 80 years, but they killed research for 80 years too. They just let one university, one place, you know, grow it legally and study it. And then when they were done studying it, they put it in a freezer and then they'd study it again. That is not the same stuff, if you will, that's in medical dispensaries and legal states in America right now. So they've learned a little bit, but again, it takes time. There's no magic SEO AI formula that can speed up the time. Is there, Victor? Probably not, huh?
I don't know. Like with government, everything always so slow. I mean, but like it's the reality. Like I just look at this situation, what like benefit I can take from it. Okay, let's focus on the state that already like this, you know, and operate there. When other will be, if it will be, then you go to another state, you know, to another state. So, but by the way, 2 weeks ago in Ukraine, they passed the law about weed legal in Ukraine, you know, so the war speeds up the things, you know.
Well, you know what, and you know, we laugh here, we think it's funny and cute, but from a business perspective, hopefully this war will end. You know, if you look back in history, whatever it takes, a war eventually will end. And there's going to be a post-Ukrainian world after this war. Absolutely. And here's a great example of building a crop, something that is a natural plant that can help rebuild your nation. Do you see that happening?
Yeah. I think I didn't get till the end the question.
So my point is, you've already, the country has already made steps to welcome the opportunity to for cannabis to become a legal entity, a legal source and industry in your country. You know that they can tax any sale they want on any product. Most governments work it that way. So what I'm saying is, in a lot of ways, there's a great opportunity for Ukraine to get into this cannabis industry as soon and when and if this war ever ends. They can start actually rebuilding using taxes on a cannabis plant.
Yeah,
that is, go ahead.
Yeah, I think so for sure. And I think it was like, it's like everywhere. It was already, yeah, but it will be more legalized so the people can actually do legit things and just pay more taxes. And yes, it's like different niches. Every niche makes sense. And as long as they pay to the government and as long as the government less corrupted and actually use this money to develop the country and all the stuff inside, it's good, you know. So yeah, I think it will be not a big push, but like it will also give impact to recover and to grow. Yeah,
it can be part of the plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you mentioned the government. Your president, Vladimir Zelensky, I think has done an amazing job.
Yeah,
I really do. Now I realize I'm looking at everything from a Western perspective. Okay, so you know, from a media perspective, certainly, I see what he's done. I see the leadership. I see what he says when he's on camera. He's been visible. He hasn't been hiding in a bunker anywhere. I give him a lot of credit. What's your opinion, if you want to give it, on the performance and how he's doing, considering that his little country is at war with one of the larger communist countries in the world?
Yeah, I think he is doing a really good job. Everyone sees it. And I think like I talked with my wife like pretty often about this. What can actually like happen in different countries. If you make like, for example, 60, or this is the maximum age you can become a president. As you can see, like in Ukraine right now, like the president is like what, 44? The
Yep.
minister of like digital transformation at 31 or 32, and like young guys that have like data-driven mind, and like they actually look at things realistically, you know. They just like do and implement stuff fast without all like I mean it for sure, it for sure makes sense, you know, like to put run the country actually like people who are more driven. Yeah.
Absolutely. Victor Karpenko of SEOPROFY, right? That's where people want to go and check out your website. I've been there. It's spelled SEOPROFY. And does it obviously Profi? Can you tell me how the name came about?
It was like I started my blog in 2009. I used to have blog, and then how I grew, because I started to get a lot of leads, and then I created agency. So it was like profi, like professional, but the original was name was taken. So I just made SEO Profi, and so now it's SEO Profi. It's trademark, and like yeah, it's like this.
Well, there you go. Well, first of all, congratulations on your survival. To operate a company remotely that has 200 employees, that's under attack by another nation. I mean, you deserve a prize, at least something, Victor. You know, I mean, I'm extremely respectful and impressed with what you've been able to do over very, very, very difficult conditions over the last few months. Although I'm guessing in Florida, you're a lot more comfortable than you'd be in Kyiv. Am I right?
Yeah, but it's still, like I said, like I'm in this room having calls all day long. Yeah, so
I get you, Victor Karpenko. I got to tell you, there's only one other Ukrainian that in my world I was actually familiar with. It was a guy named Vladimir Klitschko. I'm sure you remember the former heavyweight boxing champion in the 90s, right? Yeah. So now you're my favorite Ukrainian. I just want you to know that. Okay. I really appreciate it. If there's ever anything else I can do, you will always have a forum on my network. If you need an opportunity to share something, I definitely want to keep touch with you to find out, hopefully, please God, that this war will end and you will end up back in your home country of Ukraine, and you'll live happily ever after, because that's what I believe in.
Thank you so much. And if you have any questions like about where to find people who search and how to make this content that ranks, and so you get this audience, just let me know anytime. I'll help you. Okay.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm hoping that this whole interview will go viral. Okay, for both our sakes, if you will. I found you great to talk with. Thank you very much for taking the time. So for Victor Karpenko, the CEO of SEOPROFY, I'm Jimmy Young, the founder of Pro Cannabis Media, host of In the Weeds. Remember, everybody, it's a whole new world of weed out there. Use it responsibly. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Hey, you want to grow your own plants? Check out Style Lighting's Grow Kit. It has everything you need to become an expert home grower and bring the power of the sun indoors. Style Lighting uses TCP's high-powered commercial LEDs that deliver twice the output in the market. The Grow Kit has a grow bag, a timer, chains to hang the light, and of course the best in the business lighting system by TCP. Check out stylelighting.shop for more information. Weed Talk and In the Weeds are two productions of Pro Cannabis Media supported by Revolutionary Clinics, one of the top medical cannabis dispensaries in the Massachusetts area, now with 3 locations in Greater Boston, 2 in Cambridge and 1 on Broadway in Somerville. Rev Clinics has a patient-first mission.
They will customize your needs as a medical patient with the proper titration and combination of strains, flavors, and products. Rev Clinics, where the patient comes first.
We are Pro Cannabis Media.